Hi, it's Darnell with Way Over Recipes, and today I'm going to be cooking up 2 slabs of ribs at the same time in the Ninja Foodi XL Pro Air Fry Oven. We're going to see how it does with some baby back ribs right now. Alright, so here are my ribs, about 6 pounds worth of ribs, 2 slabs, and the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take these ribs. They don't have any noticeable thick membrane on the back, so I didn't have to do any removal of that. I guess they were already good to go. But I'm going to take these 2 slabs and cut them in half. So basically I'll have 4 half slabs. This one I think I cut kind of crooked there. Let me turn it over so I can better see where I'm cutting so I don't hit bone. Alright, I'm going to cut this one down here, so they're both cut in half like that. Alright, and I'm going to keep it real simple with this cook. I've just got some seasonings I'm going to use. I'm going to use 2 different seasonings, like one slab I'm going to use one seasoning, the other slab the other. So the smaller slab, I'm going to use this Grill Mates Hickory Barbecue Pork Rub, and for the thicker one I'm going to use the Grill Mates Sweet and Smoky Rub. And nothing in this video is sponsored, but basically going to just start going ahead and seasoning up this first slab. I mean, the back of the rib, you don't really have to worry much about seasoning too much. It's really that top side you really want to season very well. You can, if you want to make sure that your seasonings stick better, you can use something as a binder. Something like mustard, believe it or not, will work well as a binder, and it cooks off so the flavor doesn't get into your meat. If you want something that you want to help make sure that your seasonings stay on, if you think your seasonings will fall off or something of that nature in your cook, that's up to you. I'm just going to shake a good generous amount on these slabs of ribs, and I am getting a little bit of cross-contamination of the rub. I don't mind, because you know these rubs are good anyway. I will say, you know, even before I cook these up, that I do personally favor the sweet and smoky rub a little bit. You can even see in the container I've got a lot more of the hickory than I do of the sweet and smoky, because I prefer the sweet and smoky, but I'm going to use both in this particular cook. And so just getting this hickory well poured out on this thinner slab of ribs, and going to put these right there like so. I'm going to get some more over here. I want to make sure I got them really well seasoned up. And you know, if you want, you can remove a little bit top fat if you prefer. I don't really mind the small amount that's on them. I'm good with that. I'm just going to go ahead and get this other one nicely seasoned up. And this Ninja Foodi Pro Air Oven is able to, you know, cook 2 things at once on different layers. And so that's why we're going to use it and leverage it for cooking up more than 1 slab of ribs on a countertop cooker at a time. Do 2 at the same time. So getting the sweet smoky rub on this bigger slab of ribs. And yeah, since I prefer the sweet and smoky, I'm putting the one I prefer on the bigger slab of ribs. So just getting a generous portion out on these ribs. Get it some more over on this one. And Lord willing, this will turn out very nice. So almost done here. Alright, we've got a good portion poured out all over the place. And so going to get these rubs out the way and just pat down my seasoning on there a little bit. Get this one over here into my other pan. Under these pans, well, on the bottom of these pans lining them, I've got the Copper Chef grill and bake mats. Those are some really nice mats to use to make sure that you don't get a bunch of mess on your pan that you're basically cooking in. so it makes cleanup real easy. You can wash them off. They're reusable. They're very non-stick. They don't get hot like aluminum foil, so they don't like tend to cause you to overcook your food in any way. So I really do like those. Now I'm going to be using my iGrill 2 to measure temp. And what I'm going to do with my iGrill 2, I'm just going to measure the temp of a slab or one of the half slabs on each level. I'm not going to measure all 4 slabs. I'm just going to measure one on each level. So basically taking this meat probe, and I'm going to put it kind of in the side here of what seems to be the slightly bigger of this little slab. Try and get it in the middle there, kind of like so. And go and get this other meat probe kind of in. I mean, both of these look kind of fat, but this one looks a little, maybe a little fatter. So stick down in the middle of this one. Try not to go too high, try not to go too low. You want to try and make sure you're right in the middle, because you don't want to, get a bad stick and then you don't cook your ribs as well as you should have. So I think that's, I can see the probe up in there a little bit. See if I can go down a little deeper this time. Gotta reinsert another spot. See if I can do a little better. Alright, I think I'm probably up on a bone, which is not necessarily the best spot to be in either. So let's see if I can try one more time and stay on meat like I did on the other one. Alright, I'm going to just go with that, and Lord willing, things will be okay. But we'll just leave it like that there. And so I'm going to go ahead and just turn my iGrill 2 on. And if you're wondering about where you can get the cooker, iGrill 2, or any of that, you can see in the video description I've got referral links for things. And you don't pay anything extra, but you help this channel if you use my referral links. And so I've got a rack on level 1 and level 3 in the Ninja Foodi XL Pro Air oven. And I'm putting this one right there on rack level 1 on the low rack. And I'm taking the other one that's got the bigger slabs, putting that up on rack level 3, the higher rack. And usually the Ninja Foodi, it'll do things even regardless, whatever level you've got things on. It doesn't really matter. But I'll put the bigger one up top. So I'm going to close things up like so. Alright, now I'm going to turn the Ninja Foodi Pro Air Fry Oven on. I'm going to move the function over to the air roast function. And from air roast, I'm going to up the time. I'm going to set it to a couple hours. I might need more, but we'll set it to a couple hours to start. And for temp, I'm going to take the temp down to 325. And so we'll do whole roast a couple hours, 325. Maybe it'll take longer, maybe it won't. But I'm going to try and get the temp up to 195, or about 190 degrees, over 190 degrees Fahrenheit or so. And that's where I'll finish up. So we'll just go with that. We'll see how things turn out. But I'm going to hit start. And, it does that 90-second preheat. I really don't care about that. So, it can go through its quickie preheat, and then it's going to go ahead and start cooking. And if you see my other videos where I've measured temp, that quickie preheat, things don't get nearly the temp in that time. But you can see that in my full review of the cooker. And so we'll let this go ahead and cook for a while. And I'm just going to let the cooker do the work for me. I'm not going to, go in there and try and do much of anything. I'm just going to, I've set it, and I'm basically going to just forget it and let it kind of roll, Lord willing. And I'll just come on back later and I'll bring you back. Gotta stop the cook though. Made one error. Good thing it didn't finish all its preheat and such yet. I didn't hit the 2 level button, so I was only cooking with it set to 1 level. So I was getting ready to do the cook like it's on 1 level. So now I've hit the 2 level button, so now it's showing to use rack levels 1 and 3 appropriately as it should. So always make sure that when you're cooking with multiple levels that you do make sure you check so that you're cooking on 2 levels. But I've got my 2 hours, my 325 to preheat, had not even finished yet. But we're going to just go back to start and let it go ahead and cook. And as soon as I hit start, it figures it's done with the preheat. I guess it already carry over warmed up or something, but you know, it doesn't really get the 325 in that preheat. It really doesn't matter. It wasn't done, but I guess it was close enough to done when I stopped the cook. So gonna go ahead and let that cook with the 2 level setting for a couple of hours, or you know, whenever things get over that 190 mark or so, I'll bring you on back. So a little over an hour has passed, and basically the ribs that are up top are at 188 degrees Fahrenheit. The ribs lower at 195. I didn't actually catch when they went right over 195. The iGrill 2 system does provide a way to hook up with your smartphone, keep track of multiple probes and all that good stuff. I've demonstrated that before. But in this case, I just let things roll. And so this lower level's a little over 195 at this, well, at 195 at this point. The upper level's at 188. I'm just going to wait until the upper level goes up another degree. You see it's kind of teetering between 188, 189. Now it's at 189. So I'm just going to wait for the upper level to reach that 190 mark, and then I will pull all the ribs at the same time. So it's been, you know, like an hour and almost 4 minutes, you know, and there was also that preheat time that they were in there. But a little over an hour, and it looks like we're going to have our target temperature reached. So I'll just bring you back in a minute when this is over. Alright, so things have reached 190. Basically about an hour, 5 minutes of cooking time. The lower level is at 197, so both are not too far apart at all as far as the temperature after that cooking time. So I'm going to stop the cooker with that. I'm going to open up. Now I'm just going to go on in and grab these ribs out. These are the ones up top with the sweet smoky rub. I'm going to set those over here on my cutting board and get this other slab out of here as well. So let's get that out. Get the meat probe out of there like that. Now I'm going to get on down here in this lower level and get these out. And these have the hickory rub. You can see the meat, you know, has a nice little bit of a little sear, just a little. I wasn't really aiming for a sear at all, but it looks like the cook did, you know, infuse a little bit of searing. You see, and this is on the lower level, you know. This isn't up high. This is the lower level. So up front, I've got the ones that were on the lower level. In the back, I've got the ones that were on the upper level. Now with that done, just going to move these so you get a good look at them. Just going to give them about 5 minutes to rest. Alright, so they've had a little time to rest, so I'm going to go ahead and cut myself off a piece of these for some plating and taste test purposes. Let me make sure I'm not cutting into any bone while I'm trying to cut. So there we go. So there's the inside of that slab there. It looks pretty good. Let's turn that over there. I'm going to cut into this side of this one here. Cut right there, and here we go. So we'll put this one up higher because this was the one up top and this is the one down bottom, and this has the pork rub that I like, and this one has the pork rub that is okay to me. So we'll turn the camera around, do a taste test. So here are cooked up ribs. Only took about an hour. First I will try the sweet and smoky flavor rubbed ribs from the top layer. Actually, I don't have a good piece of meat there. Let me bite on this part. Pretty good. Going to try this one as well, making sure I get a part where there's some meat on the bone there. Alright, so basically with the ribs, I think the ones on top are a little, I mean they're both tender and bite through fine, but I think the ones on top are a little less tender than the ones on the bottom. Ones on the bottom are definitely more noticeably tender than the ones that were up top. Both are good, but all the same, the ones on the bottom, you know, just a little more tender than the ones on top is basically my verdict. The rubs, you know, they are what they are as far as my feeling on the taste of the rubs. But the cooker can do 2 layers at the same time, both finished up about the same time. But my top layer of ribs were just a little less tender than the bottom, although both are totally edible and good, and anybody you serve them to are going to enjoy them. Just, you know, that's the only difference that I notice at all. And so it's all good, you know. You can cook up 2 slabs of ribs at the same time if you choose. And so with all of that said, you can find a link to the recipe in the video description. You can also, as I said, find links to like referral links for the cooker, the iGrill 2 system, all that type of stuff. Also, you can, if you like this channel, you can subscribe, you can hit the notification bell. There are also other options in the video description like memberships and such. Also, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend, leave your comments, and good eating.